Thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, the U.S. and Russia keeping up their war of words over nuclear weapons. President Biden issuing a stark warning.
Let me just say, Russia would be making an incredibly serious mistake if we're to use a tactical nuclear weapon.
And charges from Ukraine about Russia's nuclear plans as well. Not only are illegals pouring across the southern border, so are dangerous drugs.
It's very, very lethal in small doses. And these cartels have realized that they can make lots and lots of money producing it.
Health experts warning of a possible tripledemic this year, a combination of flu, COVID, and respiratory diseases already hitting children across the country.
Right now in our system, we have more than 40 kids hospitalized with RSV and more than 10 kids in our ICU receiving critical care treatment for their RSV infection.
A new movie tells the important story of a tragic moment in American history, the brutal attack and lynching of 14-year-old Emmett Till, and what his mother did to bring justice to those behind it.
What happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
And 5 tourists trapped 200 feet underground for 24 hours. We'll tell you what happened and how they got out. All those stories and more today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
We begin this half hour with the ongoing war of words over nuclear weapons between the United States and Russia and Ukraine. The Russians still pushing allegations Ukraine plans to use a radioactive dirty bomb. But the U.S. and its allies believe the accusation is just a cover for Russia itself to possibly use such a weapon. Charlene Aaron has our top story.
Russian officials claim Ukraine is about to use a dirty bomb in its war with Russia. But Ukraine and the West say it might be a ploy by the Russians to set off their own dirty bomb and then blame Ukraine, giving Vladimir Putin cover to retaliate with nuclear weapons. Tuesday, President Biden issuing a stark warning.
Russia would be making an incredibly serious mistake if we're to use a tactical nuclear weapon. I'm not guaranteeing you that it's a false flag operation yet. We don't know. But it would be a serious, serious mistake.
A dirty bomb uses explosives to scatter radioactive waste in an effort to sow terror. The Pentagon, along with other countries, including Britain and France, also strongly refute Russia's claims.
I think that the U.S. government writ large has communicated to Russia the concerns that we have with the language that we've seen, the nuclear saber rattling. As well as condemning these false allegations that Ukraine is building a dirty bomb.
Ukraine officials say Russian forces have performed secret work at a nuclear plant they hold near Zaporizhia and are preparing a terrorist act using nuclear materials and radioactive waste stored there. Unable to confirm the allegations, the U.S. is keeping an eye on the situation.
We have not seen at this time, though, any indication that Russia has made a decision or intends to employ nuclear weapons or a dirty bomb. But again, it's something that we'll continue to watch closely.
Meanwhile, a group of progressive Democrats has retracted a letter to the White House urging President Biden to engage in peace negotiations with Russia. The letter, written in June but made public Monday, sparked a major uproar to expose rifts within the Democratic Party just days before the midterm elections, where Democrats may lose control of the House. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
We turn now to the growing chaos at our southern border. The latest data shows the number of people detained crossing illegally to hit 2.3 million in just the last 12 months. That is a new one-year record. But authorities are worried not only about the huge number of illegals coming into the country, they're also concerned about the deadly drugs entering the United States. CBN's Tara Mershner brings us that story now from South Texas.
The vice president tells us that the border is secure. Is the border secure?
Well, the border's not secure. We know that for a fact.
Nearly 2.4 million illegal crossings, a 37% spike from the same time a year ago, not including hundreds of thousands more who got away.
Last year alone, just last fiscal year, just to give you some numbers, nearly 400,000 known gotaways. This fiscal year, close to 600,000 known gotaways. You put those two numbers together, that's close to 1 million people that have made it into the interior undetected.
In recent history, most who breach the southern border have come from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. But border officials say migrants arriving from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua have now surpassed them, with a 245% increase since September of 2021.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
As pressure on the Biden administration mounts, the White House is still struggling for a solution.
We are hard at work in driving toward a regional solution to manage this new challenge.
Here in Texas, there are an estimated 8,000 illegal crossings per day and climbing. Most of the migrants are here to stay. With the immigration system increasingly overwhelmed, most people are released without court dates and sent via buses and planes further into the country. Not everyone is as lucky. More than 850 died trying to get here, the highest number yet. Critics charge President Biden's so-called open border policy is also allowing dangerous drugs like fentanyl to pour into the country.
It's very, very lethal in small doses. And these cartels have realized that they can make lots and lots of money producing it. It's been found in black market Adderall, it's been found in ecstasy pills, it's been found in cocaine.
Meanwhile, the FBI and others have warned the staggering numbers pose a significant security issue that can be exploited by terrorists too. The Border Patrol reports encountering 98 foreign nationals on the International Terrorist Watch List in the last 12 months. In South Texas, Tara Mergener, CBN News.
In England now, a shocking announcement from the National Health Service. The government agency says concerns among children over their gender identity generally doesn't last into their adult years. The London Telegraph reports the NHS has encouraged doctors in its draft guidance to recognize that confusion over gender identity in children could simply be temporary. The service's guidance also addressed concerns over puberty-blocking drugs given to children who want to transition to a different gender. Critics say there is little to no research dealing with their potential effects. You can find out more about what the health service said and how it differs from the Biden administration dealing with the issue of transgenderism in children at cbnnews.com. Just a reminder for you, if you do miss an episode of CBN NewsWatch, you can still catch it on YouTube. You can find it by simply typing in CBN NewsWatch in the YouTube search box, and then you can see older episodes of the show as well. Coming up, with flu season approaching, hospital beds swamped with children suffering from a respiratory virus, and COVID still a potential danger to many Americans. Health experts are warning of a potential tripledemic this year. We're going to take a look at the possible health issues we could be facing when we come back. A major victory for workers fired for being unvaccinated. New York Supreme Court reinstating all state employees who were terminated for not getting the COVID-19 shot and ordering back pay. In the ruling, the state Supreme Court says being vaccinated does not stop the spread of the COVID virus. Earlier this year, New York City alone fired some 1,400 workers for being unvaccinated, many of those police officers and firefighters. Health experts are encouraging people to get the flu vaccine this year out of concern we could be headed towards a tripledemic, with the perfect storm of 3 different respiratory conditions hitting all at the same time. Abigail Robertson brings us that story.
This latest booster is reformulated to specifically target the Omicron variants, which have been dominant the last few months. One reason the White House is encouraging all Americans to get it is to concern older vaccines may no longer be as effective.
If you're fully vaccinated, get one more COVID shot once a year. That's it.
The major priority behind this White House push is that both shots can help keep people out of the hospital.
Virtually every COVID death in America is preventable. Virtually everyone. Almost everyone who will die from COVID this year will not be up to date on their shots, or they will not have taken Paxlovid when they got sick. We've made the vaccines free and available. We've made the tests free and available. We've made Paxlovid free and available. Please use them.
The other concern is an increase in cases of almost a perfect storm of viruses: COVID-19, the flu, and RSV.
If all three of them rise at the same time, again, if people are not vaccinated, then we can start seeing a lot more hospitalizations. Hospital capacity is very important. We need hospitals for all sorts of things, not just those viruses. So right now, our focus is get people vaccinated, get people treated, and keep people out of the hospital.
There is currently no RSV vaccine, a virus that primarily affects children.
Right now in our system, we have more than 40 kids hospitalized with RSV and more than 10 kids in our ICU receiving critical care treatment for their RSV infection. About
75% of pediatric hospital beds nationwide are full. Doctors at Texas Children's Hospital predict a difficult winter season.
We are seeing more kids with RSV. We're getting ready as a system to meet the needs of our community. I can't predict for you exactly what the next 4-6 weeks are going to look like, but we're ready. We're getting ready for those needs.
CBN News medical reporter Lori Johnson says the good news is once children get RSV, they are immune.
Doctors estimate that almost every single child will get RSV by the age of 2. Most of the time it's very mild, but when you were talking about that many numbers, usually we see about 58,000 children hospitalized for RSV per year, and 250 sadly die from it.
Johnson recommends how parents can help prevent their kids from getting a serious case.
The number one way is to make sure they get enough sleep, and believe it or not, pediatricians say most children are not getting enough sleep. Also, of course, a healthy diet and washing hands when possible.
The CDC's independent vaccine advisors recently voted unanimously to add COVID-19 vaccines to childhood, adolescent, and adult immunization schedules. It will be up to state government officials to decide if those shots will be mandated for school children. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Still ahead, a new movie about an important event in American history, the brutal lynching of a black teenager, Emmett Till, and how his mom worked to bring those involved in the attack to justice. We'll have our look at the new film Till right after this. I want to take you back in time for a moment to August 28, 1955. That is the unforgettable day 14-year-old Emmett Till was abducted, tortured, and then lynched. He was visiting relatives in Mississippi and had been accused of offending a white woman while in her family's grocery store. His murder was so brutal, the case attracted massive attention. A new movie called Till shares more of the story, his mother's fight to bring her son justice.
The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room.
When everything went down with George Floyd and the entire nation got up and said, you know what, this is really starting to agitate us and we don't like it. People started to say, oh, let's tell some black stories. And we were like, hey, we have a story for you.
I want to talk to you about that boy.
When I was approached by the producers 3 years ago about making this film, I told them that the only way that I was interested in telling the story was through Mamie's emotional point of view and perspective, her journey in the film. For without Mamie, the world wouldn't know who Emmett Till was.
Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are in Mississippi. Are you listening?
Yes.
Be small down there.
Like this?
Emmett never thought anything would happen to him.
He wants to visit his cousins and have a good time, just go on vacation. All he wanted to do was go on vacation. But unfortunately, the place that he was vacationing wasn't so inviting.
He just wanted to go on vacation and have fun with his cousins.
He was punished in a way that was terrible and unjust, but it happened. And it sparked a fire in his mother that kept burning and burning. And she went out and she made a change in honor of her son.
They've come for you.
It's a generational story, and I feel about my daughter the way she feels about her son. And so my worries are her worries.
But if my son could just get his feet back onto the Chicago soil, he'd be one happy kid. I don't know why I said that.
Danielle Deadwyler is a revelation in this film. Her performance is a breathtaking channeling of who Mamie was.
It's hard to describe what a mother knows. Emmett Till was the progenitor of the civil rights movement. She made a significant choice for the Black community of 1955 in America. And she made a significant choice for the greater American and global community by having an open casket wake for her son who was tragically killed, Emmett Till. This was my boy, Emmett Till.
The historical significance of this movie is like none other. It is the spark, it is the start of change.
Can I at least just fix them up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
It's important to tell the story of Emmett Till through these difficult family discussions and challenges, because we have to understand that it's not easy coming to these choices.
You're not just my boy anymore.
This is a historical moment that changed the trajectory for so many people.
You tell me, Mamie, how is risking your life gonna help them?
Those pictures of your son change people's lives.
Everyone in her community that she already knew and was bringing spiritually from Chicago down into Mississippi, those people who she began to know, who were there intentionally for her, who deeply, deeply honored and respected the choices that she made for her own healing and for her community, the global community, the American community, the Black community's healing. They surrounded her with a kind of love.
I can't look, baby. We have to.
It's an emotionally immersive experience that is best had in a theater with other people.
Hopefully that does what Mamie Till wanted it to do, that Emmett's legacy persists.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
History is something that builds the foundation of where we are today. So for it to be able to make theaters and make screens for the younger generation to see and still learn is something that is so important to us now and the generations to come.
It's really about trying to do your best, and that's all everybody in the film really tries to do. It's a great film. There's no other way for me to explain it. There's love, there's humor, there's angst, there's agitation, there's horror, there's all of these things that appear in life in this little film about a mother and son.
The whole world has to see what happened to my son.
Till is in theaters now, and you can see more entertainment stories from Studio 5 this evening. We're going to travel to Knoxville, where the stage is set for the latest Pure Flix film. It is called Nothing is Impossible. And then the young actress and rapper, Alea High, joins us with a look at the second season of her hit show, That Girl Lele. That's all tonight at 8:30 Eastern on the CBN News Channel. You can also download the CBN News app and watch it at your leisure. Coming up, stuck 200 feet underground for more than 24 hours. We're going to tell you how 5 people got trapped and how they were rescued when we come back. Stay with us. Five tourists trapped more than 21 stories underground at the Grand Canyon. It happened after the elevator they were in broke Sunday while they were on what was supposed to be a 30-minute tour. Instead, they were stuck for more than 24 hours. They were preparing to come back up when they discovered the lift was not working. A man in the group climbed the emergency staircase and notified authorities. An attempt to repair the elevator did not work, so members of the area sheriff's department and the Flagstaff Fire Department had to come, and they used ropes and harnesses to hoist those grateful tourists back up to the surface. Time now for your Wednesday word, and today's word is joy. Remember this: joy and strength, two things that are actually connected. Why? Because the joy of the Lord is our strength. So here is a tip for you today. Tap into God's joy, and that is where you are going to find strength. And I promise you, it is a strength like no other. With that word, I encourage you to make this a joyously wonderful Wednesday. And be sure to have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. Well, that will do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thank you for watching. I want to remind you can always find more of our programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time, as well as online. That's cbnnews.com. We would love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do so by emailing us. The address is newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can also reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We certainly would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll be right back here, same time tomorrow. That is when we look forward to seeing you. Goodbye for now. God bless. Thanks for watching.